Hey everybody, C.NOTE here. Welcome to Dopamine, the show that is all about mental health empowerment. Today, I'm going to just do this quick intro and an outro video to share with you a little bit of a preview of our Finding and Maintaining Relationships for INTPs course, which is all about helping INTPs better connect with potential partners, potential friends, find their tribe, connecting with other people in their lives, and being able to do that by using your strengths. So all of that is covered if you go into the link below, bit.ly/INTPlove. You can go check that out. There's a whole description that you can go read while you're listening to this free preview. This preview is all about having curiosity for your partner. I forget, is that exactly what I called it? Yeah, curiosity about your partner. Which is basically all about asking more questions and getting to know your partner in a deep, intense level. And I think that's what knowing type is very beneficial for, is being able to ask questions to get to know them in a more intimate level. And that's one of the ways that we can connect with other people and get to know them very well. So I'm going to share a little bit of the introduction of this course and the first segment, which is all about curiosity about your partner. Without further ado, let me hit the button. Boop. Let's go do it. Hey everybody, C.NOTE here. Welcome to this course. Welcome to Finding and Maintaining Relationships. As an INTP, I am with Molly, my dear partner in love and life.
Hi. What an intro.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So I brought Molly along, and Molly's going to be doing more courses with me in the future. But right now, we felt like this was a really interesting and important conversation to have with other INTPs, because I've learned a lot in our relationship alone about how to manage my interpretation of emotions and relationships and my commitment to our relationship, and what all that means, and how some of my strengths have helped you as well as an ENFP in our relationship.
Yeah, for sure. Your strengths as an INTP have helped me grow a lot.
Right. So this class is not necessarily just about shaming INTPs for not being.
It's not at all about
It's
shaming
not at all
INTPs.
about what I'm trying to say. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that, like, I think INTPs are kind of used to a lot of descriptions saying that, like, INTPs are just bad at emotions, like, don't even bother trying.
Aww.
And that's just not even remotely true. That's not the case at all. Even your sister actually confused me as she called me a quote unquote artist. She's like, I would never date artists or something like that.
Right.
Because she thought I was an emotional man.
She thinks that means emotions.
Yeah. So she was interpreting me as an emotional man, which, like, I was like, I tricked her. This is great.
Yeah. Way to vibe.
And, even on the YouTube channel, I get a lot of people saying, like, you're actually an INFJ, you're this, you can't be an INTP because you're too emotionally expressive. And this is also a way of expressing that, INTPs, just like anybody else, we have challenges with some of our own limiting beliefs and relationships and emotions and, like, dating, connection, having a happy life, having a marriage, having, being able to make it through emotional connection is one of those things that we feel like we can't have. And part of this course is all about that. So,
and growth is possible as any type.
Absolutely.
Particularly INTPs in this case that we're talking about.
Yeah. So I think that's a good intro. And I think we should jump in. We got a couple of main ideas to talk about. We're going to talk about listening and asking questions. We're going to talk about openness. We're going to talk about dating and finding new connections. And we're going to talking about maintaining relationships, and then sort of the end of relationships, sort of surviving.
Surviving and, like, what it looks like to complete a relationship, if that's what needs to happen, being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff.
And the possibility of new beginnings.
Yeah.
So let's just dive right in. So
Let's do it.
This first segment is going to be all about listening and asking questions, because that's been one of the biggest strengths for me in our relationship, is being able to take a moment to listen to what your experience is, especially as someone who has more emotional experiences in terms of not more, but more expressive, different. And you're more, you're a little quieter in your emotional expression. Not to make you vulnerable on this,
no,
but
I'm vulnerable all the time.
but understanding for me that how your expression is different than mine, that it's not just talking through emotions, allows me to hold space a little bit better.
Yeah, and I think the asking questions piece is one of my favorite things about INTPs in general, and you in particular, is that INTPs, because of the TI that you have this ability to really hold a lot of information and have curiosity about a lot of different things at once. So the specificity of questions can be your strength in relationship building when that curiosity is aimed towards your partner or potential partner, if the curiosity is genuine.
Right. So we have a ton of curiosity about life, the universe, all of that stuff. And if you're trying to build connections, really, it sounds a lot simpler than it is, I know, but really just turning that curiosity towards your partner is really one of the first steps to strengthening the bond between you and the person you're either trying to or having a current connection with.
Right, because when we first started talking, it was the questions that got me really interested, like on a deep level, is that you asked such great questions.
Right.
And we would talk for hours about things we were curious about, but basically vetting each other with all the best questions.
Yeah, so asking about life, interests, and hobbies at the base level, but there's just so much history that someone has. There's so much about someone's experience with their family, with their job, with their career, what they love, how they experience emotions, how they experience their friends. There are just so many things that you can ask about. And then using that ability to continue to ask questions to kind of build upon it. So it's not necessarily just about asking a one and done question and say like, all right, I fulfilled my quota, but, continuing to have a conversation, even if the beginnings of the conversation are going to be a little bit boring, like it's going to be a little bit of something to the akin of how are you?
Right. The introductory,
Yeah. And then,
gotta go through the surface to get to the depth.
All of that stuff is going to be about, eventually landing on some of the more meatier things. And that means sometimes asking like how someone's feeling, especially we're going to get into that in like more of the maintenance stuff as well, but asking how your partner's feeling, how someone you care about is feeling, especially if I have identified them as a feeler, if you know Myers-Briggs pretty well, and you've identified them as a more emotional person, they're going to love that you come to them and ask how they're feeling. And that's something I'm always working on too.
Yeah. And it's important to notice and remember that human beings, like every person, is changing on a daily basis and evolving and growing in different ways. Like they're not going to be the same person even a week from today in a lot of ways that they are now. And so that curiosity never has to run dry or run out. There's always new things to find out about, which is very exciting, I'm sure, as an INTP, is that like that information will never like stop being interesting.
Yeah. Taking time to reframe emotional experiences as information. Because I think sometimes it's really easy to want people to come to us or I felt in my past that I've just wanted people to come to me and have conversations about the things that I'm just interested in. But then it really has helped me to learn that getting to know what someone else is interested in, getting to know what they care about is just as fascinating as getting to know the mysteries of the universe sometimes. Especially when you think of someone's mind as like
an entire
universe unto itself, that makes the exploration just as interesting. And I think what helps with that exploration is writing down what you know and like about that person. Because for you as an FI user, you're really good at like cataloging people information.
Yeah.
I am not good at cataloging people information. I think I can catalog your emotional information, like things that we've talked about and things that I've kind of like explored in your mind, which sounds invasive to say that, but
Sapio romantic.
But this piece of advice is one that I thought of for myself and that I haven't yet implemented is to write down what you know and like about someone, and sort of keep either a spreadsheet or just a notebook or some form of using that extroverted feeling, because it's extroverted feeling,
Right.
and emotions tend to be more communication and people related, that if you write down some of those things that you love about people, that you'll have something that you can physically go reference, or keep one of those little like field notes notebooks in your pocket and just write down interesting details about people that you are more interested in or someone you're trying to get to know. And I think that's going to be massively helpful for, for your growth as an INTP in terms of building and connecting in relationships.
Yeah, and I think leaning into that idea is something that's not weird. Like for you, it would be very helpful.
All right. So what do you think? What came to mind as you were listening to that? What's something that you thought may have been like, oh, I didn't really think about that before? Or maybe you've had a past experience where a relationship has gone well and it's kind of clicked for you as you've been like, you know what, I did that right. Or maybe there's something you need to adjust and learn. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments below. If you would love to go check out the course, it is only $29 as of this recording. You can go down and click the link bit.ly/INTPlove, and it's an amazing course about finding and maintaining relationships. We talk about listening and asking questions, maintaining relationships, learning to be more open, how to end the relationship if you need to, and then there's one other topic that I'm not remembering off the top of my head. Let me see. It's dating. Dating and relationships and finding new connections. So all of that is super important for INTP growth, because there's a bravery that comes with eventually putting your extroverted feeling out into the world and sharing all of the things you've been thinking about, sharing your style of thinking. And I think the world needs a little bit more of that style of thinking out there to be seen and presented and shown, so that people can see the actual love and gushiness that INTPs are capable of, because you are capable of love. I know that there are some INTPs that just take TI and put FE in the corner, but there's a lot of you that are working on bringing FE into the picture, and I think that's really important and valuable to bring love and connection into your life, because it's part of the natural human experience. So again, if you want to go check out Finding and Maintaining Relationships for INTPs, go ahead and click the link below. You can also check out other links to our email sign up, our podcasts, and other things. So like and subscribe if you like these videos and you want to share it with some friends. That would be absolutely amazing. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves and each other. I have been C.NOTE, and I'll catch you next time on Dopamine. See ya.